I don't like leaving my precious stuff in the hotel. I don't like having to carry a big wheelie bag with me whenever I go to a conference. I don't like having 2 bags. I like having everything in one bag, and the 25-hour Palissy from Carl Friedrik really fits the bill for me. Hey guys, and welcome back. My name is James, and today we're going to be looking at the 25-hour Palissy bag from Carl Friedrik. About a year ago, they sent me a bag to review, and it was the Valance Slim briefcase. And to be quite fair, I was blown away by the quality of that bag. So when they reached out to me again to ask if I wanted to review something a bit newer, well, I was very curious to see if the quality of this new bag stood up to the quality that I had seen about a year ago. So first of all, the whole unboxing process is quite plain and simple. It's a big box. It comes in a big rectangular cardboard, very firm box, and inside you'll find the bag nicely wrapped in its own protective sleeve, along with a small leaflet that will help to explain you how to take the best care possible of your new leather bag. Bear in mind, this is high quality Italian vachetta leather, so it's really nice. It's full grain vegetable tanned leather. So you will get some variations maybe on the top grain of the leather. That's totally normal, and that is the sign of the quality of this leather. Moreover, this is a leather that will last for a long time and will gain what we like to call a patina. Now, the patina doesn't really mean much apart from the fact that it will wear and tear with you in a very pleasing manner. The design definitely stacks up to what we've seen previously from them. It's very classic with just a touch of new age design that really makes it or helps it stand apart from the competition. This bag is designed, as the name says, for 25-hour stays. So when you're going on business trips or trips that require you to bring a change of clothes, and basically if you're staying for a night somewhere at a conference, a hotel room, meetings, whatever, this is a great bag for you. And that's indeed exactly what I used it for. I went to a conference a week ago, and I had to have one bag with me that I could also bring into conferences. I didn't want it to look like a travel bag, and the problem with most briefcases is that they don't allow you to take anything more than just your laptop and maybe a pen and paper and stuff. And this bag allowed me to have a full change of clothes as well as all my gear for my trip. And walking into a meeting with this bag, you don't feel like you're walking in with a travel bag straight off the airplane. You really do feel like you're prepared for the meeting. This bag has some very good compartments inside, which will enable you to keep all your stuff nice and laid out and easily reachable. It's got a very nice size, as I mentioned, that tapers down outwards towards the bottom, which means it's nice and stable. And talking of that, it's also got some nice little feet to it, which means that it won't get ripped apart from the concrete or from any surface you're putting it down on. There are 2 things I really missed with the Valance briefcase, which I didn't really mention before, but which I discovered as I was using it later on. One was the fact that it didn't have a strap, and 2 was the fact that the front pocket was open to the elements and didn't feel as reassuring as I'd like. So 2 things to note here that I really appreciate is the fact that you've got both a front and back pockets outside on the sides of this bag. The front one is the one I use at the front, being closed with a zip, a nice quality zip, and we'll get to the zips and the hardwares in a second here. But I really like the addition of this zip, but you still get that easy access open one at the other side in case you want that as well, which I did find myself using actually a few times just to store things temporarily, like your boarding passes if you're taking a plane, or just different little items like that. But I appreciate the fact that the front one has a zip, because I like to be able to throw in my phone, throw in maybe my wallet from time to time, especially if I'm having to put my bag through custom check-ins or whatever, something like that. And I like to be able to close it up behind me. So that was a really nice touch. The second thing I mentioned was the strap, and this bag does come with a hefty strap. It's perfectly wide enough for you, so even if you're weighing down the bag, it won't feel that heavy on your shoulder. It's really got a nice wide strap. And something that I really enjoyed and appreciate about this is that it is a leather strap, but it's backed with a nice sturdy material backing or fabric backing, which means that the leather will be able to age beautifully and gives it this really classy look and feel, but it won't necessarily stretch overly because it's got this nice backing that holds it all together. And again, the strap is finished by this nice touch where you see the symbol of the Carl Friedrik logo come back again and finishes with the hardware. The zip on the bag itself is also a very sturdy all-metal constructed zip, which I believe has been buffed to make it slip easily, or I'm not entirely sure what they do or why they do it, but all I can tell you is that it feels really nice, it feels really premium, and I am not worried about it lasting again throughout the decades. Because yes, that is often one of the issues with bags of that high standard and quality, is that even if the leather lasts, often it will be the hardware that will let you down first. The hardware, the zip might break or one of the buckles might break, and then you're left with having to replace that, which could cost you a small amount of money, a good amount of money, because you have to often undo parts of the stitching and redo parts of the stitching. And if you get it done properly, it can cost you a couple $100. So yeah, bear this in mind. But in this case, I'm pretty confident the hardware is going to last just as long as the bag, and that makes me feel very happy. Looking at the stitching, well, obviously it's not going to be hand stitched, because otherwise you'd be paying probably about 3 or 4 times the price of this bag to get the stitching done by hand, but it looks like it's a very nice machine stitched. The thread they used is just big enough to be really nice and sturdy, but not so much so that it's obtrusive or unseeming, or just doesn't look nice on the bag. No, in this case it looks really nice and very subtle, and yet feels like it's good quality, good strong construction. Now the stitching goes all the way around the edges of these bags, and it really does look good, and you can also see it on the pieces of leather all along the bag that help to protect and help keep the structure of this bag while you're loading it up and using it. Now the last thing I want to mention about the exterior of the bag, so we take a bigger look on the inside, is the handles. The handles are really well constructed. It's not just one piece of leather, it's actually properly made handles, and they swivel around so they don't poke up when you've got your bag sitting down. They'll fall down on the side, which I really appreciate. That way you can easily get into your bag and get the contents out. But more importantly, they're very comfortable. They're just the right thickness and just the right feel, where carrying this bag by the handles is really simple and really nice. So again, top-notch quality there, and well done, Carl Friedrik. On the front side of the bag, you'll find a nice deep zipped pocket, which is something I really appreciate. This is where I like to keep all my more precious valuables. So if I'm at a hotel and I need to store my passport or my tickets or something, this is where I'll keep them. And I love the fact that it is nicely zipped. You'll also find a few compartments here for little bits and bobs, or cards if you are carrying cards, which I sometimes do. This is where I'll put my cards, and it's nice to find them here. You could also throw in your keys, maybe a phone charger, small things that will go perfectly here. On the back side, you'll find a computer case or computer compartment, which is nicely padded from the rest of the stuff in your bag. So if you've got bulky objects in there and you're worried about them bashing into your computer, don't worry, they should be fine. It's got a small padding which should protect your computer from anything you might have inside your bag. It's also got a nice tie that goes around your computer, so if your bag's being thrown around, your computer is not going to move, it's not going to slip out. So yeah, again, nice bonus, which I really appreciate. So we've pretty much had a look at the whole bag here. The last thing I'd like to point out is again how this bag opens up, really allowing you to get into that bag, to get all your stuff out. Overall, it's a great bag, and the whole experience of using it was really lovely. It just felt premium, it looked premium, it enabled me to have everything I needed for my short business trip with me at all times, and that is something that I really like. I don't like leaving my precious stuff in the hotel. I don't like having to carry a big wheelie bag with me whenever I go to a conference. I don't like having 2 bags. I like having everything in one bag, and the 25-hour Palissy from Carl Friedrik really fits the bill for me. Now, although for some of you the price may seem a bit high, trust me guys, it really isn't. When you're comparing this briefcase, don't compare it to briefcases at the same price range. Compare it to briefcases with the same quality range, and you'll see that this is actually way below what other brands or other manufacturers are asking for. Now, there are 2 things I'd like to point out for this. First of all, and the most important one, is that they're not catering for a brand, they're catering for quality. And they're not trying to sell you a brand, they're selling you quality. The second thing I'd like to point out is that they don't go through third-party manufacturers. They are selling directly to you from their website, which means that they manage to keep costs down as low as possible. There is no extra shipping. For example, if you live in Canada, you're not paying for the shipping from Carl Friedrik to the reseller in Canada. You're not paying for the reseller's margin. You're not paying for all those extra things, which means that you guys are getting the bag at the best price point possible. I've added all the links to Carl Friedrik and this bag in the description of this video down below. So if you have any questions about this bag, go and check those out. And if you still have questions, then feel free to ask me here, and I'd be delighted to answer you guys. So hopefully this has helped you get a broader understanding of what the 25-hour Palissy was all about. Hopefully you've understood whether or not this bag is for you. And hopefully you've enjoyed this review and this video. So as always, thanks a ton for joining me guys today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you very soon for some more leathercraft.
To walk like two out the door.